Lisa never expected her life to become so complicated the day she married Michael. Michael was a kind man with a gentle heart, and he had a son named Jalen from a previous relationship. Jalen was a quiet boy, about 10 years old, with dark brown hair and big curious eyes. Lisa, a white woman with dark blonde hair, always wore simple clothes like a white shirt and jeans. Michael's family had welcomed her warmly, but Lisa's family was different. Lisa's family was proud and close-knit, and they had very clear ideas about who belonged and who didn't. When Lisa had introduced them to Jalen, she quickly realized they didn't like the idea of a black stepson. They never said it directly to her face, but their cold looks and sharp comments made the truth clear. Lisa felt the weight of their disapproval immediately. They acted like Jalen was an outsider, someone who didn't belong in their family. It was hard for Lisa to understand. She loved Michael, and she had grown to love Jalen like her own son. She knew Jalen had been through a lot. His mother wasn't in the picture, and Michael did his best to give him a good life. Lisa wanted to be part of that life too. She was ready to fight anyone who stood in the way. She often wore a simple check shirt when she was with Jalen because it made her feel comfortable, like she could take on the world just by being herself. From the very beginning, Lisa noticed the tension. When she invited her family over to meet Michael and Jalen, the atmosphere was thick with silence. Her mother barely looked at Jalen, and her siblings whispered behind her back. One day, Lisa overheard her aunt say, "It's not the same when the blood isn't white." Those words cut deep. Lisa tried to talk to her family about it, but they said things like, "You don't understand how hard this is for us," or "It's about keeping the family tradition." It hurt Lisa because she believed family meant love, not skin color. She defended Jalen every time she heard a mean comment, but deep down she felt lonely. Michael tried to support her, but even he could see the strain growing between Lisa and her family. Jalen noticed too. He started to act quieter around Lisa's family, sometimes looking down at his shoes or staying close to Michael. Lisa would hold his hand tightly and whisper, "You're my boy, no matter what anyone says." Michael often smiled at the two of them, proud of how strong Lisa was being. But the outside world wasn't always kind. Lisa's family didn't invite them to holidays or birthdays. When they did meet, it felt like a battle just to be treated with respect. One time, Lisa's cousin made a joke about Jalen that was so cruel it left everyone stunned. Lisa stood up and told him, "If you can't respect my family, don't come around." That night, Lisa cried herself to sleep, feeling like she was losing both her family and her new one. To protect Jalen, Lisa decided to keep her family's opinions away from him. She wanted him to grow up confident and loved, not confused about why people treated him differently. Michael supported her, reminding her that their love was stronger than hate. Together, they created a small safe space for Jalen, filled with laughter, games, and bedtime stories. Lisa started sharing her story on social media, hoping to find others who understood what she was going through. She posted pictures of her and Jalen smiling together in their simple clothes, Lisa in her white shirt, Jalen in his favorite check shirt. The messages she received gave her hope. Strangers told her she was brave, and many shared similar stories of standing up for love in the face of family rejection. Despite the pain, Lisa was determined. She knew that love could break down walls, even the toughest ones built by prejudice. Every time she looked at Jalen, she promised herself she would never give up on him, no matter what. Michael saw the fire in her eyes and felt lucky to have her by his side. But little did Lisa know, the fight for acceptance was only just beginning. After the initial shock of Lisa's family rejecting Jalen, things didn't get easier. Every time Lisa tried to bring Michael and Jalen closer to her side of the family, she felt the cold walls closing in more. Her parents stopped calling as often, and when they did, their voices carried a tone of disappointment. Lisa's siblings avoided her at family events, whispering behind her back or giving her looks that said they did not approve. Lisa found herself caught in the middle. On one hand, she loved Michael and Jalen deeply. On the other, she felt the sting of losing the family she grew up with. She wished things could be simple, that everyone could see Jalen for the kind boy he was, not judge him by the color of his skin. Despite the pressure, Lisa never stopped trying. She invited her family over for dinners, hoping that sharing meals might soften their hearts. She told stories about Jalen's school achievements, his love for basketball, and how he helped Michael around the house. She even asked her mother to spend time with Jalen, believing that personal connection might change minds. But her family stayed distant. Her mother accepted the invitations but rarely smiled when Jalen was around. Her father made quiet remarks about family blood when he thought no one was listening. Her siblings barely spoke to Jalen and sometimes openly ignored him. Lisa's heart broke a little more each time. Jalen was aware of the coldness. Sometimes he asked Lisa why her family didn't like him. Lisa would kneel beside him, brushing his hair out of his eyes, and say, "They just don't understand yet, but you're loved so much by me and Michael." She wished she could protect him from all the pain, but the reality was harsh. Michael noticed how much this hurt Lisa and Jalen. He tried to keep peace, reminding Lisa that not everyone could change quickly, but also warning that her family's rejection could harm them if it went on too long. Sometimes Michael suggested taking a break from trying to force acceptance. Lisa didn't want to give up. She thought if she could just hold on a little longer, things would improve. She even started writing about her experiences online, sharing honest posts about the struggles of blending families across color lines. The messages she received were a mix of support and sadness. Many people wrote they had faced similar battles. Still, the weight of rejection was hard to carry alone. Lisa's friends tried to encourage her, but no one could truly understand the feeling of being pushed away by your own blood. Michael stayed by her side, helping with the house and supporting Jalen's confidence. He took Jalen to basketball games and cheered loudly when his son scored points. Jalen started to find small escapes where he felt safe. The local library became his favorite place, a quiet world full of books and stories where skin color did not matter. Lisa encouraged this and would sometimes join him, enjoying the peace away from family drama. The tension between Lisa and her family reached a breaking point when Lisa's mother refused to attend a birthday party Michael and Lisa threw for Jalen. Lisa was deeply hurt, but held her ground. She told her mother, "If you can't accept my son, then maybe you don't really accept me." The words hung heavy in the air. After that, contact with Lisa's family dropped sharply. Phone calls stopped, and invitations disappeared. Lisa felt the loneliness closing in, but she clung tightly to Michael and Jalen. Together, they formed their own family, one built on love and respect. Jalen still struggled with the pain of rejection, but was learning to trust the people who loved him. Lisa worked hard to teach him pride in his identity and strength in his uniqueness. She told him stories about brave people who stood against unfairness and made a difference. Yet, beneath the hope and courage, there was an unspoken fear. Lisa worried about the future. How long could she protect Jalen from the hurt of family rejection? How much more could he take? The fight for acceptance wasn't over. It had only grown more complicated, and Lisa knew the next steps would test her love and patience like never before. Lisa decided she couldn't wait any longer for her family to change on their own. She knew she had to do something different if she wanted them to see Jalen as more than just a stranger. She started planning small gatherings where she invited her family, Michael and Jalen together in hopes that spending time in a relaxed setting would help break down walls. One Saturday, Lisa organized a barbecue in her backyard. She cooked food she knew everyone liked and set up games for the kids. She hoped the casual atmosphere would soften the mood and give everyone a chance to bond naturally. Michael and Jalen arrived early to help set up, both dressed in their usual comfortable clothes. Michael in a simple shirt, Jalen wearing his favorite check shirt. At first, things were quiet. Lisa's family was polite but distant, making small talk and avoiding deeper conversations. Jalen stayed close to Michael, watching carefully how everyone acted. Lisa sat beside her mother, trying to keep the conversation light, but she could feel the tension. Lisa's cousin Tom was the first to break the silence. He asked Jalen questions about school and sports, but his tone was cautious. Jalen answered politely, trying not to show how uncomfortable he felt. Lisa watched carefully, hoping this was a step forward. As the afternoon went on, a few family members started to relax. Her younger sister laughed at Jalen's jokes, and her aunt complimented his basketball skills. Lisa felt a spark of hope. Maybe this was the beginning of change. But not everyone was ready. Her uncle made a few remarks about different backgrounds that made Michael's jaw tighten. Lisa caught Michael's eye and gave him a quick, supportive smile, reminding him she was there. Michael nodded, thankful for her strength. Jalen stayed mostly quiet, but smiled when the kids played together. He still felt like an outsider, but was beginning to enjoy the moments of acceptance. Lisa encouraged him to join in, telling him quietly, "You belong here." After the barbecue, Lisa talked with Michael about the day. Michael admitted it was a small step, but important. They agreed they couldn't force anyone to accept Jalen, but could keep trying to create positive memories. Lisa's efforts didn't stop there. She invited her family to Jalen's school events and shared photos and stories online showing Jalen's achievements and happy moments. Some family members liked the posts but didn't reach out personally. Lisa knew change would take time. Jalen was growing in confidence too. With Michael and Lisa's love, he started joining local basketball teams and making friends. Michael took pride in watching Jalen play, always cheering loudest from the sidelines. But the tension from Lisa's family still weighed on everyone. Sometimes Jalen asked why some people didn't want to be around him. Lisa answered honestly but gently, saying, "Sometimes people are scared of what they don't understand." Lisa also noticed that her family's coldness affected Michael. Michael tried to stay calm but sometimes felt frustrated and hurt. He wished Lisa's family would see him and Jalen as part of their circle, but he understood their struggle. The couple talked late into the night, planning how to protect Jalen and keep their family strong. They dreamed of a day when rejection would be replaced by acceptance, but they knew it wouldn't happen overnight. Lisa realized that her fight was about more than just her family. It was about breaking cycles and standing up for love in a world that sometimes fears difference. She told Michael, "We're teaching Jalen to be proud of who he is, and that's the most important thing." Jalen, even with the challenges, started to feel the love that surrounded him. He was learning to stand tall, knowing that no matter what others said, he had a family who believed in him completely. Yet, even as they built this new life, Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that more tests were coming. She knew the road ahead would be difficult, but she was ready to face it with Michael and Jalen by her side. After many hard days, Lisa found comfort in a group she had never expected: Michael's friends and neighbors. While Lisa's own family kept their distance, Michael's community welcomed her and Jalen with open arms. They admired Lisa for standing strong with Michael and loved how she treated Jalen like her own son. One afternoon, Lisa and Michael attended a neighborhood barbecue. The air was full of laughter, and children played soccer nearby. Lisa watched as Jalen joined a group of kids his age, smiling and kicking the ball with ease. It was a simple moment, but for Lisa, it felt like a victory. A woman named Karen, one of Michael's closest friends, came over to Lisa with a warm smile. "You're doing a great job," she said quietly. "Not many people would stand up like you have. Your love for Jalen shines through." Lisa felt a tear in her eye but smiled back. Support like this helped her heal from the pain her own family caused. Lisa and Michael began to build a small circle of friends who truly cared for them. These new relationships helped ease the loneliness Lisa felt. Michael's friends offered advice and encouragement, reminding Lisa that family is not only about blood, but about loyalty and love. With this new support, Lisa grew braver. She started sharing more about her family's struggles on social media, hoping her story could help others. Her posts showed her daily life, the fun moments with Jalen, the challenges she faced, and her fight for acceptance. Strangers from around the world sent messages of hope and strength, making Lisa feel less alone. Jalen saw the change too. He watched Lisa connect with new people and found comfort in knowing he had others who cared for him deeply. He began to open up more, laughing freely and sharing his dreams about the future. Michael often reminded Lisa that these small steps mattered more than any family argument. Yet, despite this new hope, Lisa couldn't forget the coldness from her family. Her parents still avoided her calls, and her siblings did not respond to messages. Lisa sometimes felt like she was living two different lives, one filled with love and support, and the other with rejection and silence. One day, Lisa's mother called unexpectedly. Her voice was quiet and unsure. "Lisa," she said, "we miss you, but this is hard for us." Lisa wanted to believe it was the start of healing, but she also knew change takes time. She answered gently, "I miss you too, but I need you to accept Jalen for who he is." Michael stood beside Lisa during the call, holding her hand. He whispered, "No matter what happens, we have our own family now." Lisa nodded, feeling the truth in his words. Lisa also noticed something new in Jalen. He started asking questions about his past and about Lisa's family. He wondered why some people didn't want him to be part of their lives. Lisa answered with honesty but careful words, telling him that sometimes people have fears or misunderstandings, but that he was loved deeply by her and Michael. Together, Lisa and Michael decided to focus on creating happy memories. They planned trips to the park, movie nights, and family dinners where laughter was loud and worries were small. Lisa found joy in these moments, grateful for the family they were building. Even with the support from Michael's friends and neighbors, Lisa knew the road ahead was not easy. She worried about Jalen's feelings and the distance growing with her own family. But she believed that love, patience, and courage would guide them through. Sometimes Lisa wondered if her story would ever have a happy ending with her own family. For now, she held on to hope, knowing that every day she stood by Jalen was a day she won a small battle. She reminded herself, family isn't always about where you come from, but where you are loved. Lisa decided it was time to bring everyone together. She planned a family reunion, hoping it would help her family finally accept Jalen. She spent days preparing, inviting her family, Michael and Jalen. Lisa believed that if they spent time together, her family might see Jalen for who he really was, a kind and smart boy who deserved love. On the day of the reunion, Lisa felt nervous but hopeful. Michael and Jalen arrived early to help set up. Jalen wore his favorite check shirt, smiling a little but clearly anxious. Michael supported Lisa quietly, knowing this could be an important moment for their family. When Lisa's family started arriving, the atmosphere was tense. Her mother greeted them with a forced smile, and her siblings avoided eye contact with Jalen. Lisa tried to keep things light, introducing Michael and Jalen warmly. Some cousins talked to Jalen and asked about his school, but most stayed quiet and distant. The tension grew as the afternoon went on. Lisa's uncle made a comment about family traditions and suggested things should stay the same. He implied that Jalen did not belong in their family. Michael's face showed anger, but Lisa stopped him from responding. Voices rose and arguments started. The room became filled with harsh words. Lisa's heart broke as she heard her family reject Jalen openly. Jalen stayed quiet, hurt by the coldness around him. Lisa hugged him tightly and whispered, "You're loved here, no matter what." Michael promised to protect Jalen. After the argument, Lisa and Michael decided to leave early. The reunion showed Lisa how far her family was from accepting Jalen. She felt pain but knew she had to stay strong for Jalen's sake. She told herself that family was about love, not just blood. Despite the rejection, Lisa refused to give up. She believed that one day her family would understand. For now, she focused on protecting Jalen and building their own family filled with love and respect. The fight was hard, but Lisa was ready to face it for the boy she loved like her own son. After the difficult family reunion, things between Lisa and Jalen changed in a way she did not expect. Jalen, who used to be close and talk openly with Lisa, started to pull away. He stopped answering her calls and messages. Lisa felt confused and worried. She didn't understand why he was shutting her out after everything they had been through together. Michael explained gently that Jalen was feeling overwhelmed. The pain from the family rejection was too much for him to handle right now. Sometimes, Michael said, people need space to process their feelings. Lisa wanted to reach out to Jalen, but she also knew she had to respect his need for time alone. Lisa sent quiet, loving messages to Jalen, telling him she was there whenever he was ready. She reminded him that no matter what happened, her love would never change. Michael stayed by her side, offering comfort and strength. Sometimes healing is slow, he said. We just have to be patient. Jalen's silence was one of the hardest things Lisa had ever faced. She missed their talks, the small moments when he smiled, and the way he trusted her. Friends told Lisa that sometimes people shut down as a way to protect themselves when they feel hurt. Lisa hoped this was what Jalen was doing, and that he would come back when he felt ready. In the meantime, Lisa focused on making their home a safe place for Michael and Jalen. She kept the house filled with warmth, love, and support. Even though Jalen stayed distant, she never stopped showing him care from afar. She continued to share their story online, hoping others who felt alone might find comfort in knowing they were not the only ones. Despite the pain and silence, Lisa never lost hope. She believed Jalen would return to her one day, and they could heal together as a family. Michael reminded her often, love doesn't always show itself in easy ways. Sometimes it's quiet, but it's still there. Lisa held on to that truth every day. She waited patiently, keeping her heart open for the day Jalen would trust her again and let her back in. Lisa felt the quiet in the house more than ever. Jalen's silence was a heavy weight she carried every day. She missed the easy conversations, the laughter, and even the small arguments they used to have. But she knew pushing Jalen would only make things worse. Instead, Lisa focused on showing love in small ways, making his favorite meals, leaving notes on his room door, and reminding Michael to be patient. Michael stood strong beside her. He understood the pain of being rejected by people who should care. Sometimes he talked to Lisa late at night about what they could do next. We have to keep hope alive, Michael said. Jalen needs to know we are here, no matter what. Lisa took Michael's words to heart. She started volunteering at Jalen's school, helping teachers and attending events. This gave her a chance to learn more about Jalen's world outside their home. She met other parents and made friends who supported her. It helped Lisa feel less alone in her fight. Jalen noticed Lisa's efforts. One afternoon, he came home from school and sat next to her on the couch. He was quiet at first, but then he said, "Thanks for coming to my basketball game." Lisa smiled, feeling a small spark of hope. It wasn't a big step, but it was a start. At home, Michael and Lisa made sure to create new family traditions. They planned movie nights, weekend hikes, and even game nights. These moments brought laughter back into the house and helped Jalen feel safe. Lisa reminded him often, "You belong here with us." Even though Jalen still kept his distance at times, Lisa saw his heart opening little by little. She knew healing takes time and patience, but she was ready for the long road. Her love for Jalen was steady and strong. One day, Lisa's phone buzzed with a message from Jalen. It was simple. "Can we talk?" Lisa's heart soared. She replied quickly, "I'm here whenever you're ready." Michael hugged Lisa tightly. They both knew this was the moment they had waited for. It wasn't the end of their struggles, but it was a new beginning. Lisa realized that love sometimes means waiting and never giving up, even when the road is hard. With Michael and Jalen by her side, she believed their family would grow stronger. Together, Lisa felt a quiet hope growing inside her. After months of silence, Jalen finally wanted to talk. When he sat down beside her one evening, Lisa could see the hesitation in his eyes. She didn't push him, just listened as he spoke slowly about his feelings. Jalen explained how hard it was to feel caught between two worlds: his dad's love and the coldness from Lisa's family. Lisa held his hand and told him, "I'm proud of you for being honest. No matter what, we're family." Michael watched from nearby, smiling softly. He knew this was the start of healing for all of them. Over time, Jalen opened up more. He shared stories from school and friends he had made. Lisa and Michael helped him build confidence, encouraging him to be proud of who he was. They celebrated every small victory together, from Jalen scoring a basket to getting good grades. Lisa still missed her family's acceptance, but she focused on the family she had built. She knew that love and patience were stronger than rejection. Michael reminded her often that they were creating a new kind of family, one built on respect and kindness. Together, they planned trips, dinners, and special moments to keep their bond strong. Lisa made sure Jalen knew he was loved every day, not just with words but with actions. Sometimes Lisa thought about the past and the pain, but she didn't let it hold her back. Instead, she looked to the future with hope. She believed that one day, maybe her family would see Jalen's true worth. Until then, she was happy to stand with Michael and Jalen, her family, her heart. The journey was not easy, but Lisa knew that love could change even the hardest hearts. With every day, they were healing together.